welcome to this episode of Cooking with Carter. I'm DJ Carter, happy to have you with me today. Hope everyone had a fun and safe Easter holiday. The Easter Bunny was nice to everybody. Did you find all the colored eggs? Those things are fun. Make them, hide them, eat them. Yay! In that order. All right. What we're going to do today is a potato episode. Everything we can dealing with potatoes. Now, that's like 465 things. So if we actually did that, we're going to do maybe two, maybe more. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. You will notice I'm not wearing my chef vest tonight. It's actually very late. It's about 10:40 in the evening on 4/20. That's not a certain day to certain people, but, you know, 4/20, April 20th. So here we go. What we've got is we've got 6 russet potatoes and they vary in size. We've got some of the larger ones because the first thing we're going to do with the potatoes is potato chips. And these are going to be hand sliced and all of that. We're going to peel them and all that. But the first thing I want to show you is when you get a potato in a bag like this, you buy it from a grocer, it's very dirty. Okay? You don't want to use a potato until you clean the thing off. Because if you don't, okay, you wipe it off a little bit, make sure, you know. And we've already pre-cleaned these off camera. This is what you're going to get. You don't want to eat this. Even if you peel the potatoes, you're still going to have some of that residual to go there. All right, 2 points for me. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over a couple of things that we use in making the potato chips. First things first. These items that I'm using are very, very dangerous if you do not know what you're doing. We actually have some of the sharpest items in the world. This blade it's refined diamond. It's a very sharp blade. Marshall had, when we first got the mandolin, it's called a mandolin slicer is what it's called. And I'm going to bring into camera focus here, the Julian blade. That is the blade that Marshall actually sliced his hand. He had about a 2-inch gash in his finger.
Look how thin that is.
And it did nearly require stitches. We did manage to stop the bleeding. And he did not die. He is still alive and still with us. Oh, darn. Just joking, just joking. So happy to have him with it. And he just flicked me off in the back. That doesn't really matter. So we'll keep going on Cooking with Carter. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I want to talk about the mandolin itself. Now, the thin slice blade that's in the regular slicing blade, just the slice blade is in with the thin side facing down. Because when you face it down, and I'm not going to do this, your hand goes here. I'm going to stop because the potato is going to come across. Now, when you do this, when you get down to the end of the potato, and this is only because I have used this item several times. If you are new, okay, we're going to do this with the peel in so you can see. Hold this up, push it in. Okay, this is in now. This is how you would slice it, and the guard is on. This is what you use to slice with. You do not take this off that guard, because if your fingers go, I can't be responsible for buying you new ones, folks. I'm sorry. I can't supply fingers for everybody. I got to take care of my own. All right, that comes out of there. Now, the way I slice it, until I get down to about, have a nice zoom in on this, to about right here. See where my finger is about midway through this potato? I put that guard on. Why? Because I'm not losing my fingers, because I'm very attached to them. Alright, so I just want to turn this around so you can see. If we hold it up and down, alright, go about halfway, which is going to be about right there. If you go much longer than that, I don't recommend doing this unless you're an experienced chef, unless you've gone through and done that properly. Alright, so that's basically the mandolin and the slicer. Now, before I do that, I want to go ahead and cut off the ends. The reason I do this, I want to get as close to the edge as possible. And I want to just cut off a section of potato here so that it will sit flat. What I mean by sit flat is that right there. Okay, you don't have to hold it, you don't have to do anything with it. Now, one of the things that will help you in doing this, in working with potatoes and things like that, if you have trouble peeling them, like if you have bad coordination like me off camera to where you have trouble doing things, get the corn cob holders and basically take your corn cob holder, just one of them, and stick it right in the end right here. If you stick it right in the end, what you're essentially going to get is you're going to have a device here to hold it with, and then you're going to have your potato free to peel it however you want to peel it, okay? Now the other thing is you hold it in your hand that's your good hand. This would be my better hand, which is my left, okay? So the right hand is the hand I would hold it in. Now I'm going to just cut the other end off of the potato, and about maybe a third of an inch, maybe even, I mean, not even, like just barely a fingertip width. Just see, here's the width of the knife. Just follow the width of the knife right there. And you can see both of these are about the same. Okay, now one's a little bit bigger than the other, but it really doesn't make a difference. So now what you've got is flatness on both ends. Okay. Now we'll take our little trusty potato peeler here. Okay. And just work it around. And if potato gets caught in there, just tap it on the side. And potato peelings are going to fly everywhere. It's messy. It's okay. There's no law against that. You're not going to die from being hit with potato peelings. I promise. Oh, there it goes. Now, that's the other problem with potatoes. Try to keep your hand on part of the skin because the potato is slippery. Okay? When it's been washed or when it's been peeled, you have the full potato exposed. Now, this skin is tough. This is not a soft skin that just peels right off, so you gotta kind of be violent with your potato.
These potatoes are slippery when wet.
Yes, they are. Boy, am I not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Parental advisory now on Cooking with Carter. No, not really. We're good. We'll keep it a PG show for now. Oh, I could have really went somewhere with that, boy. Woo!
Pretty bum, boy.
Yeah. All right, so we're just about done. Now, what we've got here, and I've got to turn the potato just a little bit, is this was kind of further in, so I had to dig in with a peeler a little bit. Okay, now we'll do this little last part here. Okay, and if one way, if the downward cut doesn't work for you, take your potato, hold it in the direction that you want to go, make sure your thumb is out of the way, and very lightly press up. Because once you get through that tough skin, which is mostly all the way around, okay, just cut into it just a little bit, and just take your time. This is a painstaking process. I hate peeling potatoes, but it's got to be done to make this happen. So just nice and easy. There you go. Like I said, potatoes going to fly everywhere. It's all right. Last little couple areas here. There you go. You don't have to get it perfect, okay? That's what your finished product looks like. Spin it all around. Now, I do want you to notice real quick what I'm dropping this into. This is a trick that I learned. I've got a bowl of water, and I stuck my hands down in the water to get that film off my hands from the potato skins. Go ahead and fill a bowl up about a third of the way. Okay, when you drop your potatoes in, thank you, Max. When you drop your potatoes in, go ahead, it'll push the water up, so you don't have to fill it all the way. Max and I were talking in pre-production when we were going through, how far we want to fill up the water. That's some of the things behind the scenes that you'll see later once we get a behind the scenes put up, and you guys can see exactly what we do when we're off camera. But that'll push the water up. The water, thank you, bro. The water allows the potatoes not to turn brown. I can tell you from a past episode that we've done, if you don't put your potatoes in water, they will turn black.
If anyone remembers the breakfast edition, we had hash browns at the beginning of the episode when we were making them. They looked fine. At the end, they were black.
They didn't look too great, but man, did they taste good. Good God, that was the biggest omelet. Now, what we're going to do, now I want to also show you this. This was a tip that I got from a fellow cook that had been working in food and in the industry. Her name is Ashley. She actually recommended a tip. I noticed a lot of time my cutting board would slide when I didn't put pressure on it. So what I've done, I'm going to go ahead and take this cutting board off here. Rake the potato right on in to the trash can there. Okay, we're done with the cutting board right now, so we'll just pass that back to Marshall, let him rinse that off. Okay, so basically now what we've got is the towel. Okay, and this is just a regular dish towel. Okay, I'm going to hold this up. I mean, it basically, that's all you've got. Real thin. Okay, it keeps your board clean. All right, now that we've got it out of the way and we've got most of the cutting done with the board, I'll just fold that over, set that over there like that. Nice clean board, ready to go when you need it. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these on camera with our handy dandy mandolin slicer. Remember what I told you, this bad boy is sharp. I'm not joking.
Would you like a bowl, sir?
No, actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same bowl that I've got right now. Thank you. Okay, the way you do this, get your potato out.
Yeah, the biggin.
The biggin. We also used biggin in a reference before on an episode. See if you can find it. Means you got to tune in to Cooking with Carter. Now, I actually am going to turn this.
Careful, sir.
Yeah.
Remember, safety first, folks. That blade is sharp.
Sit it
I
there.
think we have the wrong size bowl.
It's all right. We're fine. Now, remember, I said I only do this to a certain point. Back and forth. Real easy, real slow. I've got my fingers way up here.
Doesn't make the cameraman any less uneasy.
So I know kind of what I'm doing. That's as far as I'm going to go.
Thank you.
Without the blade guard. And you can see it's about half. Little less. Only because I'm an experienced. And you can see when it gets low like that, just turn the blade. Push it down. When she gets like that, now I will show you. Do not use your hands to pick this up. Take your finger on the top of the blade, pull it back away from the blade, pick that up. Okay, that is the remnants of potato magic. Okay, in the trash can it goes. Don't touch this. I really, let me get a paper towel there, Max. I want to show something on camera here. Guys, watch this. Okay, now I'm going to do this. I don't know if you can see, but the threads of that paper towel, I just swiped across it barely. I didn't press. That paper towel is shredded on the top. This right here is one of these things that you don't want to get into, because if you hit your finger, you hit a fingernail, anything, you're going to lose a lot of... Now, if I really wanted to, let me see it for a second. I'm going to show you something. If I use the guard, okay? All right. Now, can you see that there? That's just pressing off that guard just a little bit. I just pressed into it. You see where the threads are coming off? That's not a good idea not to use that guard. That's how sharp that blade is, okay? So make sure to use the guard, guys. It's not a good idea.
Remember, safety first, folks. We can't stress this enough.
All right, I'm going to do one more because that one was kind of quick.
For a big one, it was kind of quick.
Yeah. Now this one's a little smaller. Start at the top, easy and slow. I'll actually go right there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. See, that's the reason. That's the reason that Max just cringed. That's the reason you do this. See, because when it stops, when it doesn't go straight through, that's as far as I'm going to go. I don't go past half. Okay? Hold your guard down. Press into the potato. Hold. Now,
watch the potato disappear.
I can slice that. Okay. And the whole potato
is right there.
Is gone. Now, that, again, Max is using something else, kind of like in wood shop when you use the what do you call that saw? The split saw?
Buzzsaw?
Yeah. The buzz saw to cut the wood. You don't use your hand to push a board through. You use a push stick. Why? Because these are attached. Okay? Get that out of the way. Now, Iron Chef, you'll see them, bless you,
excuse me.
You'll see them slice that thing on the hand, going, I'm like, I don't care if I get that good.
I have years of training, experience.
Alright, so that's what the chips look like right now. What I'm going to do is slice up the rest of these. Let me get the mandolin, bless you.
Excuse me.
Get the mandolin out of the way. Okay, show you just, I'll pick up one of these. And you can see just how thin the chips are. Okay. Alright, I'm going to turn it this way so you can see the actual thickness of the chip. That's not real thin. That's not real thick. That's a fingernail size. Get you another nice long. There's a nice one there. So you can see kind of there's the width up in the vertical height, and there's the width right there. That's about less than 1/8 of an inch. That's an awesome slicer. So I'm going to go ahead and slice the rest of these up. When I come back, I'm going to go ahead and season these, drain them, have the skillet heated at 350, actually, excuse me, 400. We're going to heat the skillet to 400 because we want to fry these bad boys fast. All right, I'm going to slice the rest of these up, season everything. I'll come back, I'll season them for you, show you what the chips look like. We'll be right back on Cooking with Carter. Hello and welcome back to Cooking with Carter. We've got the potatoes all cut up and the first load is out of the water. We've got our oil heated to 400. I brought it back down to 350. I'm just going to really quickly, really easily set the basket in. Grab the paper towel if you would, sir. And there we go. That's a good size right there. Now, one of the things we're going to do is we are not going to season these until the chips are done. So I'm going to go ahead and set the basket right over.
Make sure you can reach it, sir.
Yeah, I'll just actually make a small change there.
Okay.
Alright. Now these will take about 8 minutes. I'm going to fry these. Now, what you can also do, you can turn it up to 400 if you really want to fry them good. But I'm going to let them stay in the oil, and you'll see them actually kind of float to the top. I'm going to take my spatula over here. Trusty
Handy spatula.
And the good thing about these is you don't have to flip them because they are submerged in oil. And these are thin enough, almost paper thin.
What happens if they start clumping together?
That's fine. You get clumpy chips. I mean, that's kind of how that's going. I mean,
Oh, no,
they will come apart. I mean, they're not going to stick because the oil is going to be in between, and they'll all come off, and you can see they'll all move. So I'll let these cook up, and we'll show you the first batch on camera. Now we've got another bowl over here. It's actually a drainer, or you can also use the other blue bowl that we've got sitting over here on the shelf. But the only problem is with using a drainer, you're going to lose your seasoning in the hole. So we got a smaller bowl where we can shake these up once we season them, and you season them one time and shake them up. That way they're not too salty, too this, that, and the other, and they turn out nice and good. So we'll get these cooking up nice, and you will see these start to brown very simply. And I'm just taking my spatula, kind of dunking them back down, make sure they get the oil good, make sure they get submerged well. And you see, Max was asking about them clumping together. If you look over here in the left corner, you've got a clump of them together over here. This is actually the right corner. Right, it is left corner, I'm sorry.
Left for you, right for us.
Yep. So we're gonna, you just move them around and you can see that they will come off of each other. That's what you want. And they just fry just like that. You don't have to turn them over. You don't have to flip them because they're all submerged. So that's it. Alright, when these are done, we'll take them out of the camera. Be about another 4 minutes or so. We'll show you what they look like when we come back. And also cook the other couple of loads of chips that we have. So we'll be right back on Cooking with Carter. See you in a bit. Alright, we're back on Cooking with Carter, and I'm going to go ahead and take these last few out. I've taken some out already, but you can see that nice crispy golden brown look on these. Right over into the drainer first. Now these aren't going to drain much, and I'm going to dump them into the bowl where the drainer is actually sitting in, because I want just a little bit of residual oil. Now the key here for these when they're done is not to put them in the fridge, because if you put them in the fridge after they're done, they will get cold and they'll get slimy and spongy. So you want to, got a last couple over here. A few little fellers.
One more.
Yep, over there on the side. We'll get these last couple here. One or two more, just
one more for me. Yep. It's our last one on the maiden voyage.
Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'll show you these on camera. That's the sound I want to hear right there. Now, I'm going to take just a tiny bit of garlic salt. And actually, I'm going to also take
Did you want these?
just a little bit of season all. You can season these with whatever you like. Give these a quick toss. Okay, one more time. Season a little bit. And Season a little bit. Grab you one there, buddy. Tell me what you think of that. I'll let the cameraman grab one first before I take one out. That's what I want to hear, that nice crunchy sound.
Move over, ladies. That's a tad bit more of something.
We need a little salt. Let's get a little regular salt in there. The problem with the seasonal and the garlic salt, that is a flavor that doesn't really stick well. And I actually probably gonna add just a little bit of seasoned salt in here too. And where did the seasoned salt go?
It's behind there. Oh, it's seasoned salt.
Yeah, I need to. Come here.
I command you, pour into my bowl. Look at those nice golden brown.
Brand new container.
Luckily they won't see you struggling.
No, they won't see me struggling on this one, because
it's okay, no one can see you.
I got it.
Yeah. And dump everything in there.
There you go. Okay, go just like that.
Use the small end.
Open that. A little bit.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your chips. Shake your chips. Alright. Season the other side. Now, try that again. Yeah.
Watch me see.
That's what you want.
Let me be the judge. Now, folks, y'all probably don't know this, but I judge him fairly and impartially. And I tell him when it is good and when it's not the greatest.
Yes, and he's done that, and my heart is broken several times. That's a good chip. Nice solid crunch.
This time I'll give him an A+.
Nice solid crunch on the chip. Very simple. So, that's going to do it for this episode of Cooking with Carter. We're going to cook the rest of the chips. And remember, thanks for tuning in, because the meals we make are worth the rate. Worth the wait, not the rate.
But a rating would be enjoyable.
If we could get 15,000 ratings. Hey, come on, 15,000. All right, there we go. We are waiting on the ratings. All right. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? All right, there's a little pun for you. But I just want to give a quick shout out if you get a chance. Go out to Lillian's Restaurant. It's a great establishment. And we had a chance there to eat Easter dinner. And great buffet, great people, and a really great owner. Know him quite well. I've known him for years, and it's a good establishment. It's run well. I like the way it's managed. So please don't forget to comment and subscribe. Thank you, guys. Want to do a quick update before we go. Cooking with Carter has hit over 730 views. Last time I checked, we were at 746 and 29 subscribers. We want to get a little higher than that. Leave us comments. You can drop me a line on the Facebook like page at www.facebook.com/cookingwithcarter. And you can also drop me a line in the comment box below, right down there. All right, so that'll do it. We'll see you. And remember, the meals we make are worth the wait. Have a good one on Cooking with Carter. See you next time.